2 is evaluation, and that's when I look at all of the important development documentations, your plans, your processes, and at the bottom, I write a report, and I'm going to present it to you right now. And then we move on to step 3, which is certification, and you'll work your way through meeting the best practices to eventually earn certification once all best practices are met. Right now, we're working with, I believe, 258 communities in the RRC program. We have 33 certified communities, 147 communities that have had evaluations completed, and 77 communities that are still waiting to be evaluated. Here you'll see the 6 best practices that the RRC program is based on, ranging from 1, your community plans and public outreach, so that really includes things like master plan, corridor plan, capital improvements plan, all the way down to your redevelopment ready sites, which is really about proactively selecting sites and creating a vision for those sites and then marketing those sites and that vision. So here you'll see the evaluation snapshot. Waterford Township has completed 25% of the RRC criteria and is in the process of completing another 50%. So the green means the best practice expectation is being met. The yellow means there's still a little work to do, and the red means that it's just not quite there yet. There's like a lot more work to be done. So where is the township really excelling and already meeting the best practices? Well, part of that is in recruitment and orientation for your board members. So your board and commission applications are on the website, and they list desired skill sets, which really helps people know if they're signing up to volunteer on the right board. It just helps them make that connection. Your website gives a really good overview of duties. It lists boards and commission members, vacancies, meeting location, times, and it contains board and commission specific documents. So that's really strong. Your new board members are also provided with orientation packets that I believe the previous clerk put together before she retired. And then you're meeting part of best practice 5, redevelopment ready sites. So I know Waterford Township has a list of sites that they are working on seeking redevelopment for, and that they're proactively marketed on both the township's website and through Oakland County's One Stop Work Ready program. So the areas that the township is making good progress in is your master plan. It's a little out of date, but it's based on extensive community engagement and provides a strong vision for the future with a mixed-use and pedestrian-friendly walkable district, and it embraces mass transit and non-motorized transportation. It does need to be updated to meet the Michigan Planning Enabling Act 2008 to include a zoning plan and incorporate recommendations for implementation, including goals, actions, timelines, and responsible parties. Also, on the redevelopment ready sites, each site that the township has selected should be prioritized. Extensive information should be gathered. A vision for each site should be developed, and the zoning should support the vision of the site. And tools for development tools and incentives should be identified for each site, and additional public engagement should be conducted for tricky sites. And finally, each site should be fully packaged and marketed on the website. And I can talk today. Here we have the opportunities for improvement, which the real big one in the room is the zoning regulations. So they really need to be updated to align with the master plan and the corridor plan, which one is developed. They need to be updated to allow more mixed-use development by right in areas that are designated for concentrated development. They should be updated And then the zoning ordinance should be updated to include tables and illustrations. And finally, just an area that can improve with best practice 4 is more funds could be allocated for training for the various boards and commissions. Strategic planning could be used to identify training needs. Training for development-related boards, commissions, and staff should be tracked, and a way to consistently notify members and share knowledge from training should be developed, along with holding collaborative work sessions for the various development-related boards and commissions. So how do we move forward from here? Well, next I'm going to, not today, but ask you guys to pass a second resolution within 30 days saying that you continue to see the value of the program and that you'd like to continue it. And then you'll begin working to complete the missing best practices. I'll work with your planning staff and we'll check in at least quarterly, if not more, to see the progress the township is making. And once all the certification criteria have been met, the township will achieve certification. Now the RRC program is supposed to be a team sport, so it's not really for just one person to take on. Staff and officials should be working together. You have a good resource with Oakland County Planning. SEMCOG can provide vital information. Your boards and commissions can also help, and we're also here as a partner. And so some of the values of the RRC program is it is a third-party review of your development-related processes and procedures. Certification is a signal that the community is open for business. We hear quite often that it is easier for developers and just interested parties to work through the process in certified communities. Provide technical assistance matching funds to help your community work through the RRC program. And by being engaged in the program, the township is eligible for community development funding consideration. And so if you're interested in more resources, they can be found at myplace.org. I'm happy to answer all of your questions.
Those collaborative training efforts with the different boards, you suggest that would be an annual or a biannual thing? How this?
We prefer it's annual.
Okay.
Yeah, just bringing all your development-related boards and commissions together to make sure everyone is on the same page and singing from the same hymnal, as it were, so you can all be making good decisions together.
We do annual meetings, but again, it's like I said, I don't know if you wanted to increase that any or not, but okay.
Just annual and usually with a development focus.
Okay, and it said Waterford, we're unique because we're a primarily developed community, so a lot of ours is going to be redevelopment.
Yeah.
And sitting right behind you is a gentleman who's going to do a very large redevelopment in the very near future in Waterford Township, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is. That's mostly what we are focused on is redevelopment and not the greenfield development.
Okay. Good. Anybody have a question?
I've got a few questions.
Sure.
I always do. You say vision on certain sites, we should have vision. We have a lot of visions on a lot of sites, we have a lot of township. How are you going to be developers here to buy the land and develop it?
So
Redevelop it?
part of that is putting your vision for those sites in a package, so all together, so people know what you want there, and then promoting that through your website and or through us as partners. For our certified communities, that's communities that have met all the best practices. Our redevelopment services team has been working on hosting developer showcases in those communities. So we have one coming up in Roseville, and that is when we actually do bring developers to the community and talk about the various sites. So
We do the same thing, One Stop Ready does it over the county. They do it yearly. Developers that showcase certain communities and properties.
a little different. This would be customized to Waterford Township, where we would them here and only focus on you guys.
My next question, with Oakland County's free, I'm assuming there's a charge for your company. This is all free?
Yep. Free technical assistance program through the MEDC.
You know, we were just talking prior to this meeting here, we have some developers that rent certain properties. MDOT gets in our way. Can't get curb cuts. What do you do to get MDOT out of the way? And I got a perfect location.
We're on board.
Well, I guess what I would say is that it's always good to try to get all the parties in the same room early, and just say, hey, this is what we're up against. We're trying to do the right thing by including you early on. Let's have a conversation. There's a local representative, Vince Ranger, who's from Southfield, in the Southfield office. He should be contacted early. You can go through us if you want to. It's part of my job is to not only try to identify ways of bringing solutions to things, but identifying those persons, other agencies that have a stake where you might be wanting to look at a redevelopment or something like that, and then we can try to get a conversation going, get a meeting, so it's face to face and say, hey, what is it absolutely what we need to do here, and where are we gonna, see if we can make some headway where we haven't before.
Yeah, just off the top of my head, I think a couple locations that MDOT given problems. On 59, I go that. Bob Evans, I've had a few developers approach me and talk about it.
Sure.
But they can't get the curb cut they want. MDOT will not give it to them. That Huron and Telegrass is a prime example. Guy wants to cut a third of a building down from our parking, and really big improvement over there, but he was ready to bail and walk out until he came up with Plan B. You know, but it's still,
Yeah, without really knowing
Touch and go
what the
right now.
reasons are, it's always good to get those partners in because they'll have that technical assistance
well, I
knowledge.
believe that our plan is to have a good relationship with them, not
Sure.
talk to them, but basically, and walk away.
Yeah, so what,
Walk away with that answer we want to get.
it's good to get more people in the room that have a stake on what's happening because then it's not just you and MDOT, it's you, MDOT, us,
Well,
somebody
we
else. and
were
we're
discussing
all
with each
location.
other, you know what? We
Yeah.
should get our state senators and our state reps together and then come over and say, this is our problem. MDOT's in our way, we want to redevelop, we want to do certain things, but we can't because state supersedes us. Basically, our backs against the wall and stuff like that. And that's what we really need to work through and get done. You know, we've been involved with One Stop Ready now, let's see, what, 5, 7 years, 8 years, 10 years, right? You know, it's helped some, but, you know, we like, I want things done yesterday, you know, and I understand the process of government, especially government, we were slow. You know what, I mean, for free advice, help, doors are open, you know, we're open for business. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have just one question in regards to the tech assistance matching funds.
Yeah.
And is there a limit, or what would those funds be used for? Is that available to us?
It is available for you after you have, so usually like 3 months, you've demonstrated on your progress report that you've completed some items, and then we'll have a discussion about the best way for the technical assistance, how they can do the most good to meet the most best practices, but it really will depend on your priorities, but it could be used for anything to turn those yellows and reds to greens. So, a good one might be a complete ordinance update or a corridor plan. So usually some of the bigger ticket items that aren't easily completed in-house.
Thank you.
We've been updating our ordinances slowly but surely, but as you know, that is a nightmare in itself. You know, especially with our planning department, we don't have that many employees up there, so there's a lot of other things. One other question, where are you guys located at?
We're based out of Lansing, but we're also field-based
good news is our planning department recently just doubled in size, so that's good.
You want to hear a number?
We went from 1 to 2.
It's still exciting.
2 is twice of what 1 is, so it's just hard to argue. We got Scott Ayler recently to our planning department, just is a valuable addition. And again, there's ideas out there, there's different things that people want to do. Sometimes it's not practical, sometimes it's not realistic, but when you've got other governmental bodies, Tony said, that are not cooperative or difficult to deal with, a lot of times people just say, well, enough of that, and move on. And it's us being a primarily developed community, we're talking redevelopment, they move to a community that's less developed than we are, and there's a bunch of them around. So again, we lose some good candidates along the way. So. But I see this as an asset. And again, the one-stop ready, we do a showcase here every year, and about half of the property we've shown that since we started showing it is turned over and been developed. I mean, once it's out there, people pick it up, they jump on it, and they go. Especially the school district property. We highlighted them twice there. We've got several of them in the process of being developed or redeveloped now, and there's a bunch more, 3 more coming on this year. So that's good stuff.
That's great.
Yep, it is. Very good. More houses, more people.
Exactly.
Anybody else have any questions for Elizabeth or Dominic? Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Good job. Thank you. Okay, Jim's returning to the clicker. Next up is the consent agenda. Is there anything on the consent agenda anybody wants to remove prior to me reading it? Okay, April 8th, 2019 board meeting minutes. Today, April 22nd, 2019 bill payment. 51st District Court's first quarter report. Fire Department's March 2019 report. Library Department's February 2019 report. Treasurer's Office March 2019 report, Police Department's first quarter 2019 report, and the City of Keego Harbor Parade walk permit.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I support.
Almost a dead tie, Steve B. here. Any further discussion on this? Okay, it involves bill payments, so roll call.
Birch.
Yes.
Roscoe.
Yes.
Markey, yes. Thomas.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Bartolotta.
Yes.
Okay. Next up, we have the board liaison reports. Tony, you want to kick it off?
Kick it off. I've had 2 meetings, April 10th, Van Norman Improvement Lake Board. And just want to run by a few things. In June, they're going to do a lake harvesting. We got an MDEQ permit fee was $800. The good news, we carried over from the budget from last year $27,000. That was a good thing. And my second meeting was Waterford Youth Assistance. And I just wanted to say a few things here. The Optimist of Waterford donated $1,200, which was up. Mike Greenfield asked for more money. They were generous and gave it to us. We're sending 4 students to camp at $300 apiece. We had election of officers, which I won't talk about, that's on our agenda. Joe Fagan State Farm Agent is donating $10 to youth assistance for anybody that comes in for a quote for auto fire, life, or health quote. Just mentioned youth assistance, there's a donation there. And as always, Waterford Youth Assistance is looking for volunteers. That's all we got.
Hey, Steve.
Had a cable commission meeting last week, and just wanted to let everybody know Media Network, which is our Waterford cable, will be working with the township to cover the Summit Place mall demolition. They'll be shooting ground level and drone aerials, and they're also planning on producing a Summit Place mall documentary.
And they're still going to do the day, is Gary here? Yeah, they're going to do the day of ribbon cutting, they're going to do a mall memory show too. Yep, a mall memory show. So the day of that is Tuesday, May 7th, correct? It's a Tuesday. Tuesday, May 7th, 9 to 10:30. So that'll be a banner day in Waterford Township for sure. Margaret?
Nothing to report.
Okay, the Waterford Historical Society on Wednesday, May 1st, will be up and running again from 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's every Wednesday for the rest of the year. And then, like I said, the log cabin's open. You can purchase sweatshirts, t-shirts, any other gift items you want to get. And that all goes towards keeping the Historical Society up and running. So look forward to them being open again. Yep.
For the library, they're having Ask the Tech Guy computer help on Saturday, May 4th. They have 30-minute appointments available beginning from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So there will be one-on-one assistance with your own device or computer. Bring it with you. Our library computer technician will do his best to troubleshoot your problem or answer your questions or advise you on what to do. It will be held in the conference room. Please make an appointment by registering yourself online here or by calling or coming into the adult desk at the library. Also, they're having a Waterford Genealogical Society annual lock-in Saturday, May 4th from 6 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. It's held in the evening after the library is closed to the public. To register, ask for a WGS registration form at the adult desk in the library. There is a registration fee of $25 for WGS members and $30 for non-members. Topics to be presented will include finding Eastern European ancestors, introduction to military records, research, color your ancestors alive, adding more than dates and names and more. My next library board meeting is this Wednesday at 6 o'clock. Also, the new doors have been installed and I've seen them and they've been a big hit is what I hear also from lots of people from what Joan has been telling me.
Art?
Just to say one last time, remind everybody about the sheep shearing event at South Hathaway this Saturday. One of the biggest events they have of the year there. So.
If you've never seen a sheep sheared, come out watch it. It's very, very interesting, and they're a pretty good sized animal. And that guy handles them very gingerly, and it's just like I said, he gets them. It's amazing the amount of wool that comes off those things. Holy cow! It's worth the trip out. And again, the pancake breakfast. Who doesn't like pancakes? Okay, old business. Possible adoption zoning ordinance text amendment case number 19-03-01, Summit Place overlay zone text amendment.
Make a motion to adopt zoning ordinance text amendment case 19-03-01, Summit Place overlay zone text amendment.
Support. Okay, any further discussion on this? Okay, this is a roll call vote.
Roscoe,
Yes.
Markey, yes. Wall,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
Birch,
Yes.
Bartolotta,
Yes.
Okay. Next up for possible adoption, zoning ordinance text amendment case number 19-03-02, dwelling unit text amendment.
I make a motion to adopt the zoning ordinance text amendment case number 19-03-02, dwelling unit text amendment to amend ordinance number 135-8.
Support.
Okay, any further discussion on this? Roll call vote.
Bartolotta,
Yes.
Markey, yes. Thomas,
Yes.
Wall,
Yes.
Birch,
Yes.
Roscoe.
Yes.
All right.
Just want to take this opportunity to thank all the members for all the support with regards to the redevelopment of the Southern Mall. We're ready to go. Thank you, sir. And thank you very much for the support.
Thank you for deciding to the water.
And we're going to give a push to DTE to get those power disconnected.
Yes.
We're going to have
I won't say anything at the board meeting and fire them up, but I went through the same thing in my previous life with.
We'll have a conversation, because I'm not going to Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you, Laurie.
Them darn strappers, if they just could have cut a little bit more power off, eh? Oh, that's a tough one there, I'll tell you. Okay, new business, 2019 park alcohol sales licensing agreement.
approve the 2019 park alcohol sales license.
I support.
Okay, any further discussion on this?
Just a quick question, who keeps the profits? Is it divided between Chamber of Commerce and Parks, or
Yes,
who puts it out?
yes, it's split between Chamber of Commerce and Parks and Recreation. Yes, we both,
Both entities work it together?
yeah, we work it,
It's been pretty
Share.
successful, that's what
it has, it grows and grows every year, so yes, it's a great event.
Not the alcohol sales, the attendance at the concerts.
Yes, yes.
That's,
Concerts in the park.
Right.
well, I'll tell you, that's not be Thursdays. We've had a couple of times where there's been 5 Thursdays a month, we've had 5 times before. Okay, anything else? Okay, roll call vote.
Thomas,
Yes.
it
Bartolotta,
is. Yes.
Birch,
Yes.
Roscoe,
Yes.
Marquis, yes, Wall.
Yes. Next up, we have Mental Health Awareness Month, May 2019 proclamation. Kim, would you like to read that proclamation?
Sure.
Okay?
Mental Health Awareness Month, May 2019 proclamation. Whereas mental health is important for our individual well-being and vitality, as well as that of our families, communities, and businesses. And whereas 1 in 5 Americans experience a mental health illness that requires treatment at some point in our lives. And whereas 1 in 10 children has a serious emotional disturbance that, if untreated, can lead to school failure, physical illness, substance use, jail, and even suicide. And whereas May 9th has been designated the National Children's Mental Health Awareness Day, and whereas stigma and stereotypes associated with mental illness often keep people from seeking treatment that could improve their quality of life, and whereas mental illness is a biologically based brain disorder that cannot be overcome through willpower and is not related to a defect in a person's character or intelligence, and whereas mental health recovery is a journey of healing and transformation, enabling people with a mental illness to live in a community of his or her choice while striving to achieve his or her full potential, and whereas mental health recovery not only benefits individuals with mental health disorders by focusing on their abilities to live, work, learn, and fully participate and contribute to our society, but also enriches the culture of our community life. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Waterford Township Board of Trustees does hereby recognize the month of May 2019 as Mental Health Awareness Month and calls upon citizens, public and private institutions, businesses, and schools to promote awareness and understanding of mental illness and the need for appropriate and accessible services for all people with mental health illness to promote recovery.
Support.
I'll make a motion to approve mental health awareness month, May 2019 proclamation.
Support. Okay, any further discussion on this? This is a roll call vote.
Birch,
Yes.
Roscoe,
Yes.
Wall,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
Marquis, yes, Bartolotta.
Yes.
Next up, we have appointing members to the Water and Sewer Hardship Advisory Board. DPW Director Bryce Williams, Trustee Karen Joliet, Citizen at Large Linda Zabek.
I make a motion to appoint those members to the Water and Sewer Hardship Advisory Board. Russ Williams, Trustee Joliet, and Linda Zabek.
Support.
Any further discussion on this? Russ, is there anything you want to talk about? Okay.
Other than, it's not really water and sewer, it is just the
Sewer.
hardship advisory board.
Is this a fairly
Check
new
that.
board, Russ?
I'm sorry, what?
Is this a brand new board that's being
No, it's not a brand new board. It's been established in the past, but it's been inactive since.
I see it, yeah, it was 1976 or something.
Yeah, what we're doing is, we've got a few residents left in the community that we're trying to get connected to the sewer system. And just in case there is a hardship issue with any of those residents, we want to offer a review board.
Okay. Any further questions? Okay. Roll call vote. Well, no, it doesn't say roll call, excuse me. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed? There are none. Next up, Water Township, this sewer advisory board. Waterford Township Sewer Advisory Board per diem resolution.
I make a motion to support the Sewer Hardship Advisory Board shall be compensated at a per diem rate of $60 per meeting of the Hardship Advisory Board.
Support.
That'll only be one person. That's a citizen at large. Okay. Good. Anybody else? Yeah, I got it right there. Anybody else have questions on that? Roll call vote.
Bartolotta.
Yes.
Birch.
Yes.
Praska.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Marquis. Yes.
Okay. We have the Waterford Youth Assistance election results.
I make a motion to approve the Waterford Youth Assistant election results.
Support. Any further discussion on that?
Say that Grant Smith was reelected for a second two-year term, and we have a new member, Jeremy Young, that was elected as treasurer for a two-year term. Good luck, Grant. Grant does an exceptionally great job, the chairperson of youth assistance.
Yeah, that's a wonderful group. Like I said, our next generation are the kids today, and any guidance and help they can be given. It's big, and Waterford Assistance does a wonderful job, so keep up the good work. Okay, roll call vote.
Bartolotta.
Yes.
Birch.
Yes.
Praska.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Marquis. Yes. Wall.
Yes. Okay, next we have the high-intensity drug trafficking areas, HIDTA, sub-recipient agreement and resolution.
Make a motion to approve the high-density drug trafficking area, HIDTA, subrecipient agreement and resolution.
Support. Okay, any further discussion on this?
This is something we've been involved with for years, Chief, and it works out real well for us.
Yep. Good job putting that together, Scott.
Thank you.
Okay, this is a roll call vote.
Praska.
Yes.
Birch.
Yes.
Bartolotta.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Marquis. Yes.
Okay, next up we have the Hess Hathaway Barn Preservation Phase 2 wood exterior.
Good evening, Township Trustees. I'm Allison Swanson, Director of the Parks and Recreation Department, and with me is Tori Hedwin, Parks and Recreation Supervisor, who oversees Hess Hathaway Park. We have a historic barn at Hess Hathaway Park that was built in 1887. And when the park was bequeathed to Waterford Township by Mrs. Hess's family in 1985, it's one of the three structures that we are required to keep up with, along with other structures on the property. But there were 3 structures that were deeded over to the township with specific instructions. These included the barn that was built in 1887, the original historic farmhouse, and the ranch-style home that Ms. Hess lastly resided in and our caretaker currently resides in. We have been in the process since 2016, working with Tori and Ron Campbell, who is a preservation architect and planner with Oakland County, to develop plans and an approach to preserve the structure. We do receive money from the Hess Family Trust on a request basis for projects such as this. This project would be funded by the money from the Hess Trust and not money out of the park's general budget. So we are looking to proceed with the project. This is a phase 2 of the project, which would be the complete exterior of the barn. I did include some pictures in the memo I sent to you guys so you can kind of see the disrepair that the structure's in. It really needs a lot of wood repair and work on the exterior. We do currently use the barn. It's a working barn. We have the sheep are housed in the barn. And we do have plans for like a phase 3 of the barn down the road, which would be an educational aspect of the in part of the interior, where we work with Sally Straight with the Historical Society to label some of the historic farm tools and implements that we have, so that those who visit the park can learn about them. So, any questions? Joe Churches is here. He's the contractor we're looking to proceed with, and Tori and I have met with Joe different occasions, and references have been checked, and sites that he's worked on previously have been visited, and pretty impressed with the quality of his work and craftsmanship. So
I read over your detail of the, as you did, how many pounds of nails you going to use?
None.
No, it's excellent. Very, very detailed. It takes all the questions. You did a very good job, and I'm believing your workmanship will match that too. So look forward to having you explore that. And again, you know, it's amazing, and I worked construction for 40 and a half years prior to being elected as a carpenter, and the amount of rotted wood that you replaced over the years on houses and stuff, and this has been there since 1887, and a lot of that wood's still in good shape. And again, it's just, it's you know, quality of wood, the air that gets to it to dry it out before it's started out, who knows, but it's amazing there's not more bad wood under than what there is, really. Anybody else have any questions?
Is there any quick question for you, Supervisor? Do you think he's in line with the price
I've been out of the pricing aspect for 6.5 years, but what today's pricing is, yeah, I think it's very reasonable, yeah, especially the amount of work. If you read the breakdown on there, there's a lot of work.
Last time I don't understand that,
Yep.
you would, that's what I was asking.
Yep.
Okay.
Not just that, it's historic preservation, it's not just simple construction.
Well, you know, it's nice that has, trust fund money too.
Yep.
Not coming out of the general fund,
Right.
no, I think we're gonna, really nice. That'd be very nice.
Again, like you said, the referrals that they had there are top notch.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, anything, what was the old saying, the guy had a sign out there on Highland Road years ago when it was a 2-lane road. Quality doesn't cost, it pays. That was his logo right there. Quality doesn't cost, it pays. So, and you get, technically you get what you pay for it. Anything good comes at a cost. So, but again, it just, yeah, I thought the pricing and that
Pay
was
now,
very
pay
good.
later, so I'd rather pay now than later on.
Yep.
Is Candoff done any other work in the township?
I am not.
The references are great, I've got the references. Here's if they did any other work here. And I'm just wondering why nobody else bid on this job, just too big for, or too small?
there's not a lot of contractors or individuals that do this type of work anymore. We've met with 2 other contractors. One, I think the the experience the other contractor had was there as well, as Mr. Churches has. The individuals expressed some concern working with the municipality. You know, the process that we require contractors go through might be different than dealing with a barn on your own residential property. So I think that maybe was a little bit of deciding factor on why that other company didn't submit
Favorable
a bid.
vote on the board tonight, what would construction start?
I know we're trying to work it with Mr. Churches. He's already got a couple large-scale projects right now, so, you know, we're hoping to start construction.
Should be done this season, I'm assuming.
We would like it to be started, you know, this summer, so you know, we're working with him on some large, we're trying to fit into his schedule as well, so, because, like I said, we've been working on this from 2016, we would like to secure him as a contractor, get in his schedule, you know, so we're secured, and then get the project done.
That's the first step, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you know, ideally within the next year, the whole thing would be completed and weather permitting, and we do have large events out there and things we're gonna have to kind of work around and things like that with him, so we'll kind of coordinate as we go with him.
And what you're talking about there, I still have people call me periodically, hey Gary, could you refer somebody? I called 10 people and nobody's called me back, so you also get that. I mean, he's busy, you know why? Because he returns his calls and goes out and bids the jobs and gets the jobs, but you gotta schedule it. Some people, again, I don't know how you stay in business by not returning phone calls, but it happens all the time.
And just to add, I got some contractor suggestions through the building department, Rob Marinsky and Brent Gibson, and then I also went through the Michigan Barn Network and called all of the contractors that were relevant at all to this project.
Yep. You did do your homework.
Very good.
I have a question too, Allison. Looking at the photographs, what's the scope? Are they gonna take down all the siding and replace it, or are they gonna try to repair it or what?
So some of the areas are gonna be cut up to where the rotting wood ends, and then new wood put down. Windows and some sill work and stuff like that's all gonna have to be completely redone. But in the areas, there's gonna be some cutting and, you know, seaming and stuff like that with the wood.
Thank you.
What kind of wood is it? I remember reading it. Is it?
Chestnut.
Chestnut, that's right.
I know originally it was chestnut. I know originally it was chestnut, but is
So,
it?
the original barn, right, so in going through this process, we've learned that it's probably more rare than what we knew, and that it was originally chestnut wood.
Right.
So, which isn't available, or
Right.
if it was available, not in our budget.
Well, I remember as far back when I was a kid, there was a lot of chestnut trees around, but something came through here back in late 70s, early 80s. It killed a lot of them off because as a kid, you used to take chestnuts and throw them in the bonfire. And, wow, you know, it was big stuff. So, all part of being a kid. So, okay. Anybody else have any questions for Allison? Sorry. Okay, this shall be a roll call.
Well, I make a motion to award the Phase 2 of the Lone Cedar Historic Barn Preservation Project at Hess Hathaway Park to K&L Construction Improvements LLC for $98,300.
Support.
Okay.
Okay, Wall,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
Marquis, yes. Roscoe,
Yes.
Bartolotta,
Yes.
Birch.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay, this brings us to the end of our regular agenda. We'll open it up for public comment at this time. Reminding the public to have 3 minutes. Is there anybody from the public? Yes, sir? No, mind under the microphone, please. Yep, they're both hot. Those are comfortable chairs, Ray, so be careful you don't fall asleep.
Hi, I'm Ray Kozlowski, I live 3642 Baybrook Drive. I've been board for 25 years. And you guys had a board meeting last week, or this week, last week, and you gave me wrong information. You said you would be talking about our garbage concern pickup. What happened to it?
Garbage concerns and pickups.
You said you had a private meeting on it. Now we're informed that you...
We have a private meeting, we had a closed session, attorney-client privilege meeting. We didn't break any rules, we didn't cheat, we didn't lie.
I didn't say that. I said I was informed you would be talking about it at this meeting.
But it's not on the agenda.
Right. So what happened? I was
Pete,
wrong information.
there's more to it than what we originally saw, so we're doing our due diligence before we sit down and bring it before the public.
Well, I thought the vote was about the public. Who's going to vote on this, the board or the public?
That we have not decided on that yet. They said we're still going through everything, and then when we bring it out, then it'll all be exposed at one time. We'll talk about it all at one time in a public meeting, at 2 public meetings actually.
That's how I was told to be talking about it tonight.
Well, that was the original plan. Originally, we were supposed to have the documentation back from the attorney in February. We got it in April. So I mean, again, it's just like I said, there's no sense in jumping in to stop and then backing off and then jumping into it and backing off. We're trying to, dot all of our I's and cross all of our T's before we bring it before the public.
Another one, my street, I've been complaining about it for 24 years. They come down, they look at me and they say, well, if you want your street done, you can hire a private contractor to do it. We got another lake on our street, every time it rains, the whole street is flooded out. And the ditches are not carrying the water away. So what can I do about it? Do I have to get under my car, get attention or something?
No, but again, the public roads in Waterford Township are the responsibility of the Road Commission for Oakland County, whether they're streets, and even MDOT roads. Oakland County Road Commission, public roads are responsible for. And the watershed that runs off the road into the ditches, they're also responsible for. Ditch culverts under driveways, that falls under the jurisdiction of the Road Commission for Oakland County. So 858-4804. And if you have a concern, you can call me, and I can also call. And I believe, I don't know this for a fact, but I believe the more calls they get on a particular complaint, the more apt they are to respond to it in a quicker manner.
It's good to put, I just don't give a damn, choose language, but that's how I feel about it. Every time they come down, when you can hire a private contractor. The dirt is so high, the water will not run into the ditches anymore.
Right, we had this discussion recently, and it's like that in a lot of the older subdivisions like that, because again, over the years, you know what I'm saying, the yards, every time you cut your grass, your yard gets a little bit taller, because technically it's compost. It goes on the grass, the dead grass, the yard gets higher, and eventually the shoulders are above the road, so the water hits here and just lays there, or you said floods the road until it gets absorbed in. Thank God Waterford's a primarily sandy community, so the absorption factor is a lot higher, it could be a lot worse.
They get pretty full on my house.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, I hope they get any farther. I don't want it in my basement.
Right.
One more question. Where does the township property line stop at? At the sidewalk or past the sidewalk?
The sidewalks are typically in the right of way. I'm not going to say every sidewalk's in the right of way, but most subdivision streets are 60 feet wide, so from the center of the road, 30 feet each way without doing a state survey, that's the best way to tell. Some of your older subdivisions are 50-foot right of ways.
So I've been cutting grass in that ditch for 25 years. Who do I send a bill to?
Road Commission for Oakland County. Yep.
Where's that website?
I would say the 50-cent postage stamp if I was you.
We're gonna, take so much to listen to someone BS over the years. Got the wrong information for the meeting. I'm disappointed in it, but that's part of life, I guess.
It will be on the agenda. But again, that was, like I said, we talked about this back coming out in February.
Why do you even talk about it? This board been had so many meetings on it over the years. It was just they want. Because you get a couple of people, they band together, they want it, they're gonna get it. I want freedom of choice. Give me the last thing you like, left for me to decide on. Who I pay my taxes to, who I pay. I want my choice on it. Not some guy who will complain all the time. No, that's it.
Okay,
Good thing.
thanks, Rick. Is there anybody else?
Yes,
You're-
the agenda was posted online, and
Yeah.
if you do, maybe you can call the
Yeah.
clerk's office.
You can call my office, Ray, and I can tell you whether it's
Right.
on or not.
We can tell you if it's going to be on or not. For the trash haul.
Yes, sir.
Question, agenda item 6.2, it's something to approve. Not to you.
Yeah, it was approved.
Yes, it was approved.
Yep.
The zoning ordinance text amendment case, 19-03-02 dwelling unit text amendment.
Okay. I missed it, I guess. Thank you.
Is there anybody else? Come before the board? Anybody? Nobody?
Can I mention one more thing?
Sure, come on down.
Next time it rains, I'm going to all the board members come down my street, bring you home. You can't, when you try to buy how easy it's great to walk. You can't do it. But I do like all board members come down, it's not serious.
Just a suggestion, Road Commissioner of Oakland County holds meetings over the 13th of last year at the headquarters. I think that's where you should voice your concern. Well, they're the ones who, like Jerry said, they're the ones who hold.
You guys get together, tell them what you want, they would get a free.
You tell them all they want to return blue, they still own the roads. They're gonna tell us what to do.
I literally talk to the road commission on a weekly basis, year round. Because we have snow removal in the winter, and potholes, and flooding, and lack of drainage in the warm weather months. So I'm in contact with the road commissioners all the time.
All the streets around me were mine. And my father said, oh, you took a year, 20 years ago. Whether it's big, if they took the street, they have some down picture.
I can't advise you what to do, I can't.
That's what I thought you said. Well, it's good for church, Mark.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Any further discussion on that? All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed? Or none? Thank you.